It's been quite a while since I haven't made a video, mostly because April is a busy month with Easter and whatnot. March, pretty good month, all around the place. Most of the winning trades were during the start of the month. Compared to February, it is obviously a lower winnings month, but that is not a problem. Lower winnings is better than no winnings. So let's start with the trades from March. First trade, it was literally at the start of the month, and I have caught a stop loss. The trade was from the level of 66k, and the stop loss was at 70k. Here I should have probably not taken the trade right before weekend, and I taught myself this quite a few times, where if we go a few hours into the New York session, into the Friday trading day, I think that taking trades is a bit, I don't want to say that it's risky, but at the same time, I think that the probabilities aren't in, at least for my system, they aren't in my favor. Obviously, I had a pretty good win on my hands here, but I actually wanted to see lower. And so it's not a problem. It was a simple loss on both BTC and Ethereum here. This is the trade that actually yielded my profits for the month of March. So here, after I have noticed that we went sharply lower on the weekend price action when I had the short and I didn't take the profit, I thought that at this point, if we didn't break the level of 60k, not even now, then we might actually go higher. And so I started buying in. My first trade, my first buy was around 67k, and the stop loss was at a pivot near the weekend price action ending and the overnight low for Monday price action. Also with the weekend price action low as the initial stop loss around 63k, then I started compounding. The thing is that when I started compounding, the chart wasn't really moving, and so I decided to close compound 1 and 2 pretty early, just because of the fact that if you are caught with too much weight in your trade during the night, then you might get wrecked. And so I removed these two trades, and I compounded 1 and 2 once more, and 3 later on during the next day when we had an actual aggressive move. And I closed my positions around 73.8 or 9k, something like that. This is a very good trade, and it yielded me a lot of profits, plus 4.2% for the month. This is my best trade of the month for sure. I have kind of respected my the way that I'm trading. I'm averaging in while I'm winning. I'm moving my stop losses while I'm in the trade. For me, this is textbook. I'm happy with this trade here. Then I had a small loss on this trade where I actually wanted it to go a bit higher, maybe to 76, maybe to 80. But at this point, obviously, we got a small move to the downside. March and April were kind of rangy and a lot of news and whatnot, and the trading wasn't really giving much continuation. So the stop loss was around 69k, just because of the fact that is where we moved from aggressively the day before. And so this was a loss, minus 0.66%. The next trade, I remember I had quite a lot of profits in. It is very similar to the trade that I have taken first in the month that yielded good returns. So here I did basically the same thing. I started buying in the weekend. Maybe it's not the best idea. I had my initial stop loss, same value at around 63k, and then I started averaging in once the overnight high for Monday was broken. So I bought compound 1 at 68.250, and with stop loss under the weekend price action low. Then I started averaging in. I closed early my compound 2 just because of the fact that, again, I had too much overweight for the overnight session here, and I started buying once more once we moved higher. Really here I wanted to see us breaking the 73.8, 73.9 pivot that we have put in. It wasn't the case. Unfortunately, I took too much position at the top of this move, and I closed all positions flat. This could have been a very good win as well. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case, and I respected my plan. I moved all my stop losses while I was compounding, and so on. Unfortunately, we just didn't get the continuation at this point. So this was a what was this? A flat trade. Better than losing, I guess. Then I had another trade, which was actually a short. I wanted to see if we can actually move lower, since after we didn't get the big move to the upside here after over 74k, I thought that we would just range and move lower here. So I just started shorting. I shorted 70k as well with a compound one. My initial stop loss was 74k because I didn't want to see that break, and then the stop loss one at 71.8. Unfortunately, I closed all my positions around 72k because I thought we would go much higher. At this point, if both stop losses were at 74k, we wouldn't have went higher than this, and my positions would have been still up. But this is not how I trade. I have seen a sign of strength, and at this point, I thought that I should maybe close both positions at minus 1.35%. The next trade, it was also a loss. It was only on Bitcoin. I started only trading Bitcoin after the middle of the month, just because of the fact that I also have bought the 100k account, and I'm only trading Bitcoin on that, and that it makes sense for me and my system to try and trade mostly Bitcoin. I tried to long here with the stop loss at 68.6. It didn't work out once more. It's a simple loss, minus 0.6. You can notice that a lot of my singular trades are minus 0.6, just because of the fact that my risk is usually around 0.6. I don't really look towards an exact point for my risk, but I think that once it's around 0.5, 1% is good enough. Okay, I think that's good enough. It works well with my system, and this is what matters, right? Stop loss is arbitrary. You don't really know what is best or good for everybody, but as long as it works for your system, I think you should look into it, and I think you should give it time. I think you should exercise with it, and I think you should try your best to have your risk always kept in check, no matter how your trade evolves and manages itself in time. Okay. Now, there was another short that I took close to the end of the month, which I actually got my accounts to break even, so 50k on each of them. At this point, I started exercising with higher position on Bitcoin, just because of the fact that I started only trading Bitcoin. So, sorry, I'm drinking my coffee because this is the elixir of life. So at this point, I started with pumping my Bitcoin position from 0.1 to 0.125. I started shorting the weekend price action high here, and I honestly compounded at the lows. Unfortunately, we actually reversed, but I didn't take my stop loss, just because of the fact that my stop losses are getting better with time. So my stop loss here is close to the high that we didn't take before, I think. Let me see. Yeah, it was a high that we didn't take here. I think it was market structure stop loss. Then I compounded once more once we moved under compound one, and I closed all my position lower under weekend price action low. I could have probably kept for lower, but it's no problem. Profits are profits, plus 2.47%. Then I started taking a bit of loss close to the end of March. I have started buying once more at Friday evening, which is a very bad thing to do, and I will probably start forgetting about this tactic. I bought here my initial stop loss 63k as per usual, because I think 63k is a good stop loss level, and for now, for the following weeks. And then when I compounded one, I put my stop loss under the weaker price action low. Unfortunately, what happened here, just to the fact that there are a lot of news, a lot of wicks, a lot of random movement, I put my compound 2 at the top of the move, expecting us to actually move sharply higher, and my stop loss is at 65.8. Unfortunately, I moved all my stop losses to 65.8 and I closed all my positions. And if you will see after, the chart actually went lower, but it didn't take the stop loss at 64.8 if I would have kept it there. I'm not sure, to be honest. This overnight move here of 2.5k or whatever this was, maybe even more, was a bit too aggressive and due to news and whatever. And so this low that we have put here, I didn't really expect this. I thought that if we would move to 65.8, we will actually go lower. It wasn't the case. I lost kind of a good trade, but it is what it is. Can't do more than that. Now let's get to the March review, thoughts and learning. So I had less amount of ideas, but slightly less. It's 8 compared to 9. So I think I tried too much for home runs when I noticed that this is a ranging month. This was a ranging month, full of news, full of the Iran bullshit and whatever. I should have probably taken smaller trades. I think this is something that I have to keep in mind. I have also done this mistake in April. So I don't think I have learned much from March, unfortunately, but you can't always win, right? You can't always have winning months. You can't always win big. Sometimes you just have to take a step back and relax and not get tilted about the fact that some of your trades are just not working. Only made decent profits at the start of the month. The whole month was very shaky and not enough continuation for my trading profile. I think it's very important to understand that some months are just not tailored for your trading profile and for your trading strategy that you have created for yourself. You probably shouldn't force it that much and understand the fact that you cannot be winning every single month in a big fashion just because of the fact that this is the game of trading. We cannot force it upon the market for our system to work every single month or week or year or whatever. Taking smaller wins when very certain amounts can be a good way to get profits moving forward. This is exactly what I said. I think that when the month doesn't match my trading profile, I should probably think about taking smaller wins, smaller trades, and smaller compounds. I bought a 100k account mid-March. I already said this, and I only started trading Bitcoin on it. I started trading only Bitcoin after mid-Monday, after buying the 100k account, and I started also moving the position a bit higher just because of the fact that I think that if you only trade one asset, you can actually make it more consistent with adding your position slightly higher than it would have been before when you would have taken a lot of collaterals on altcoins. And this last idea is the exact same as before. Focus on trade execution and less on less instruments, so less altcoins and more Bitcoin. This was the trading review for March. It has been a shaky month, but it's still solid. I'm happy with what I have learned. I'm happy with my trades. I'm happy with the fact that I have respected my system and my continuation system, and sometimes it works, sometimes it just doesn't.